Here, I welcome to all my dear students, myself, Dr. J.K.Sali. Today, we are going to learn Discharge of Contract. So, let's start with the topic of Discharge of Contract. Meaning of Discharge of Contract. Discharge of Contract means termination of the contractual relationship between the parties. The contractual relationship comes to an end when the right obligation arising out of such a relationship. When the contractual relations come to an end, we call as discharge. A contract is said to be discharged when the obligations created by it come to an end. In this slide, now we will discuss discharge of contract. A contract may be discharged in the following ways. The first point is performance. When a promisor fulfills the promisee and performs the agreed part, the contract is discharged. The first subpoint is actual performance. Both the parties are said to actually perform their contract when both of them have fulfilled their respective obligations under the contract. Second is tender performance or attempted performance. When the parties perform their respective promises, it is called tender or attempted performance. If a valid tender of performance is made, one party and the other party has not accepted. The first party from performance and becomes entitled for damages against the other party. The second point is mutual consent. According to section 30, two or more persons are said to have mutual consent when they agree upon on the same sense. Third point is subsequent impossibility. In this case, the impossibility supervenes after the contract has been made. Material to our study of discharge of contract. The cases of subsequent impossibility. The first is destruction of subject matter. Second, failure of ultimate purpose. Third is death or personal incapacity of promisor. Next is change of law. Next is outbreak of war. Next point is lapse of time. As per the Limitation Act, the party suffered due to breach of contract can take legal action against the other party within a specified time period within 3 years. If the period is over, the right to lapses and contract stand discharged. Thereafter, next point is operation of law. A contract terminates by operation of law in the following cases. The first is death. In contracts of personal nature, the death of promisor discharges the contract. Other contracts, right and liabilities, the deceased person on the legal representatives of the deceased. Second is insolvency. Contract discharged by the insolvency of one of the parties to it after order of discharge is passed by the court. Third is merger. Where and right contract merges into a superior right contract. The former stands discharged automatically, that is, a part-time service is converted into full-time job. And last is unauthorized material alteration. Material alteration made in a written document by one party without the consent of the other. Next point is discharge by breach of contract. When a party to a contract has refused to perform, disable himself from performing his promise in entirety, the promisee may put end to the contract unless he has signified by words or by a contract. The types of breach. First is meaning of anticipatory breach. This breach of contract is occurring before the time for performance has arrived. The first is expressly by spoken or written words. Here, a party to the contract communicates to the other party before the due date of performance his intention not to perform it. For example, A had agreed to sell 100 bags of wheat to B for rupees 50,000 on 1st March. On 15th February, before the due date of performance, A informed B that he will not be able to supply the wheat. Next point is anticipatory breach of contract by implication, the conduct of one of the parties. Here, a party by his own voluntary act disables himself from performing the contract. Second point is actual breach. Actual breach occurs. A party fails to perform his obligation upon the date and time fixed for performance of the contract. On actual breach, affected can sue the party in default for damages for breach of contract. Thank you.